All right, it's 6 o'clock, so we'll get started. This is the regular meeting of the North Augusta Board of Zoning Appeals. For February meeting. And let's begin with a roll call.
London Smith.
Kathy Stallworth.
Kevin Skaggs.
Bill Burkhalter.
Jim Newman.
Everybody's present. So next item is review of the approval of the minutes from the January meeting. I have one comment. Go ahead.
I'm losing my touch. I only had one. It's not what they found.
Mhm.
On the second page, last sentence in the paragraph that starts with Darrell Frazier is just a typo of our equipment at his resident, but it says residence. So he only has one.
I was going to add in the last page under the condition number 1, where it says the approved sign shall be constructed as conceptually shown in exhibit, say, excluding the canopy sign. Yes, and we're going to be adding add the excluding canopy sign. Excluding, yeah, going the conditions. Any other comments?
Yeah, on page 2, very top where the bold typing is, second line. This is in, it says licensed. It says licensed real estate residential builder. I think it meant to have a D on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, any other comments, corrections? All right, motion approved as corrected. Motion, a second. Second, Mr. Burkhalter. No discussion. All in favor, raise your hand. Approve the minutes. All right. Minutes are approved. Thank you. Okay, next item is confirmation of the agenda. We have 3 requests to review. The first is a major waiver, and this next 2 are variances. Anything else we need to discuss?
No, sir.
All right, well, we'll begin. First item, which is item number MW 25-005, acres, zone R7, UPN 006-20-07-043.
The development code was revised in 2023. Waivers, the subdivision preliminary plat. What is before you tonight is a waiver asking for some relief there. And in this case, the applicant is requesting a block length, a requirement of a maximum of 650 feet, a table 10.2, to allow it to be approximately. This gives you an idea of where it's at. And this gives you an idea of the topo before, the topo after. There'll be a good bit of grading work. When we looked at the what was provided, it looked like you could go from the cul-de-sac on over to the street, straighten that road out, and you could do that with about 11% grade, which 12% is the maximum. So there would be a cut through there that you could get to the other side, that type. And the engineer's here, he can talk to it. This would reduce the block length, but it would still need the waiver. But this is what we were recommending. So I would ask that if y'all grant the waiver, that y'all grant it as conceptually shown here, with that connection. And that gives you the grading plans on it, if you're interested in that. And any questions for me?
So we're talking about eliminating the cul-de-sac.
Yes, sir.
make it a connection.
Correct.
to the-
That way, if something happens back there in the back, you've got another way to loop around.
I don't have any more questions of you. We'll get to the public in just a minute. Wait. We'll get to public in here in just a second. So I'm good with you. Any more questions of Tom? Okay, cause applicant here, come forward, please. And then after the applicant, we'll get to public comment. I'm supposed to swear you in, so swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
I do.
And state your name and address for the record, please.
Matthew Eschelbach, 5235 Riverwood Park. If you've ever had a slope on a road that's around 12% and you're trying to put slab on grades basically on a flat lot, that's a pretty challenging issue. So we tried to hold, firm with going with that cul-de-sac route. But I just, after kind of going through this several times, I thought it might be best to try to work something out just in case, we couldn't go that route. So we did a bit, because he has to kind of line some stuff up, just for lot minimums and what have you. But I mean, overall, with this plan, if you guys are good with it, it's just, I was just glad we were able to get it to you before the meeting. We've been working hard on it.
Any other questions?
I got one more for Tommy, though.
Okay.
This is already permitted, or not permitted, but allowable for this district? Is there any zoning or any changes or any of that? So this is doable, we just changing the road, basically.
The use is allowed.
Yeah.
The residential, I think it's R7. The use is allowed, and it's not approved yet. This is part of the approval process.
Right.
It will have to go to the planning commission
Right.
for final approval.
Okay, so we're not, like I said, it's allowed, we're just allowing the road now to extend.
Correct.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. We may come back to you.
All right, no problem.
Now I'll open up anybody in the public. Come forward, please. And I have to swear you in too. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
I do.
And state your name and address, please, for the record.
Michelle Wilson, 1901 Burns Road, North Augusta. So I'm new to attending these meetings, but you'll probably be seeing me a lot. Just a warning. So the first picture of this to me was untenable. It was a high-density subdivision where you landlocked the participants and you're feeding all of that traffic into Old Edgefield Road. And if any of you have ever driven to SRS or driven back from SRS, you know that many people take that road and you've got that middle school right there. And during certain times of the day, that traffic is backed up all the way from the middle school to the Catholic school and beyond, and all the way to the light. If you're trying to empty traffic onto that road, I think that would be untenable. Plus, the first major waiver you were requesting, if I'm not incorrect, was that the length was 650 allowable, and they were requesting not a slight deviation, but over 4 times the approval. Wasn't it 2,600 or 2,700?
Yeah, but that's,
Okay, so
that
basically.
changed with this. But go ahead.
Yes, but only on the second map. So what is the road length now on this map?
I don't have that number because
So you
the
would
engineer
still
hadn't
need a
provided it.
major waiver.
Yes, we agree with that.
Okay. If the slope is that difficult to build on, I would think that it would not be profitable to put that many homes in. So obviously, it's doable. So, maybe there's an alternative, reducing the number of homes, but that is a huge amount of homes that you're going to be feeding onto that one road through one entryway. I'd like you to rethink that, especially since you've already redone that road length.
Can you come forward, please? We need to get that on.
Maybe that, we can't see, but still you're gonna need a waiver, aren't you?
Yes, so,
Yes, so you can see Talisman Drive coming around on the
Okay,
bottom
where-
down here.
Is that Old Edgefield on the bottom?
Old Edgefield, yeah, would be kind of coming
Okay.
parallel to the floor here this way. But if you follow that road all the way around, see where it says Talisman Drive
Uh-huh.
right there? That comes out as another entry point to Old Edgefield Road.
Okay, so you have two.
Well, there'll actually be three because that road, Talisman Drive, is now being extended as another loop that comes around. So there's going to be three entrances.
So you at least have a bypass from where you had
Correct.
that cul-de-sac, but you will still need a major waiver.
yes, we
So
said
you'll
that.
have to come back, will
No,
he
no,
have to come back?
no,
here?
this is the major waiver consideration. But it's just the block length. That's all. We're not talking about whether or not they build the
Yes.
project.
So the planning commission, is there another area that will have to approve all of
Yeah.
this?
Planning
And they meet on
commission-
another day?
This is, just this, your approval or denial, only sets the stage for the engineer on how he moves forward with this project. Once the project gets through the review phase with planning department, then it will go to the planning commission. That might be, next month, or it might be 6 months from now. We don't have any control on that. It'll go to the planning commission for a public hearing, a public meeting for the planning commission to look and see if it meets all the criteria that is required for the development.
Okay, so the citizens will get another look when you finalize the design, correct?
ma'am. That will be a public meeting, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
This one looks a lot better. The other one was almost untenable.
This will be kind of the concept.
I'm not saying I like high density, and I'm not saying I like it, but I will say it's a lot better than the previous one.
I think 3 ingress egress points.
Thank
Usually
you for listening.
Thank
it
you.
would be hundreds of units for 3
Thank
ingress egress.
Any other comments? Anybody else want to make? Come forward, please. I have to swear you in again. So, yeah, I gotta swear you in. Swear to tell truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes,
And state your names, address, please, for the record.
Karen Keeley, and I live at 1022 Thurman Street, which is right off of this. My question is, behind my house is a big drop off. Is my yard gonna end up in their yard?
Can you show?
And can I get a copy of this in relation to the map?
Yeah, help.
All the boundary lines that are basically dividing, I'm assuming that's the neighborhood.
I
lots
can't-
On this side.
I can't really tell, to be honest with you. Right here.
Yeah, so this is Old Edgefield Road here. This would be the entrance to this neighborhood. This is Talisman Drive coming out here. So I'm assuming that one of these lots down here might be yours.
Yeah, that's
Far
what I'm
right
saying.
hand.
I can't tell either.
Okay, well, we'll grade these lots out. I mean, there will be some fall in the backside of these, as you can see with this grading plan on the backside. But it's all like doable. I mean, it's not anything, we're not gonna create any runoff in your yard. We're not gonna take any of your property with the slope. We
Can we-
abide by all of our boundary lines.
Are you guys gonna leave a tree buffer behind our houses, or are we just gonna look straight downhill at them?
I certainly love to keep any trees that I can. However, I mean, when you're doing like mass grading like this, a lot of times you'll disturb the roots on them, end up killing them, having to come back and
See,
take them out.
I
in the long
think we
run.
need to keep some trees in North Augusta. I mean, I have deer and foxes and raccoons, and I mean, I can go on and on. Hawks, owls, they're all, where are they gonna go? I mean, North Augusta just keeps raising everything to the ground and building houses and other businesses, and it's just sad.
That comment may be more appropriate.
The
But
planning,
I
the
definitely
planning
want a map
commission
there
is
that
currently
shows me where
looking
it's going here.
at developing
And, like,
a
what is
tree
this?
preservation ordinance.
These are existing houses and home sites that are
Okay.
along Old Edgefield.
I definitely want to see what that's going to look like to my house. The whole back of my house is windows. I don't want people to the hill, seeing me coming
I
out of the
will say
bathroom
that
and
this
stuff.
elevation is much higher, so what you would be looking at outlier lots and looking kind of more into the slope. You wouldn't be looking into the actual house because there's quite a bit of fall coming down. That's why we gave
Yeah,
ourselves
so,
that much room.
so that quite a bit of fall, is that gonna have retaining walls? And
Tommy, do you want to repeat what you just said about the planning commission looking at the tree?
yeah, I didn't understand. Can you get me a copy of this so that I can understand
I mean, you
with
could
regard
take
to
that
where
if
my
you'd like.
house is?
Not real sure where your house is really, but I mean, this is everything that we're presenting here tonight.
I hear you. And where's this coming out?
It's, can we move on? It's just a treed area that's just like a vacant area right now.
But I'm saying, is this a street exiting?
Yes, that's
And
actually
it's-
onto Old Edgefield.
Mr. Chairman, it
too?
might be that they needed to talk about this after the
All right,
meeting.
very good. You got any more public comments for this? But
For the road.
For the road? Thank you. Okay, come forward. Thank you. I suppose swear you in. You
I'm
swear to-
Gail Turner, and I own property on Terrace Circle,
All right.
which will be impacted.
All right, do
And
you
I
swear
had
to tell
not
the truth?
seen, pardon?
You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing
I
but
cannot
truth?
hear you.
You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
I still didn't understand that. I still didn't understand what you said. It's been very difficult to hear,
Okay.
but
Do the best you can then. All right. Go ahead.
are you ready for my
I'm ready,
comments?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, anyway, I own property at Terrace Circle, and my concern on that is it's a slope up. So when this is, if it goes that far, development and so forth, what is going to be the protection of those homeowners? Because that property does go uphill before it flats and then goes straight down. So, according to that plat that I saw, you're coming off of Edgefield Road. Do you have that's your egress. What's your exit? Do you have another exit, or is it all coming back off that road? I know I tried to follow it, but it's difficult to see the little bitty print. So you're coming off where the nursing home is, where your other development is down there? So you're not landlocked? Because
There'll
there's
be
other
three-
people that owns plats through there.
There'll be
So
3 points of
my big
recognition.
question then is, and then I've got something about the traffic that maybe y'all have not considered at this point, but what is going to be done for the property owners where that slopes down to their property? The end, on Terrace Circle, where my property ends, it goes up. So what's going to take place for me as a homeowner to protect my property, the runoff and blah, 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 all that it happens?
As a developer and as like my engineer designs.
Yes,
plans,
that's
like,
what I'm asking.
We would take all that into consideration. It
At
would all be
that
in
point,
the
when you get
plans.
there.
Well, no,
Okay.
it would be approved in the plans as to how we deal with all of
Okay,
our runoff.
all
and
right.
our storm.
And again, this is about
And
the road. This
that's
is a different
approved
meet- that's a
by
different
one of
meeting.
our agencies within North Augusta? Is that right? I mean,
Our engineering
I don't know
department,
how the government actually works. This is the first stage, right? And then we go from there. Okay. All right, let me talk about traffic. I know this lady talked about the traffic. We got Our Lady of Peace right there. It's going to be a traffic problem for the development that y'all are doing already. All these people coming out. We've got the middle school right there, and it's a traffic jam during the coming in and going off. If you've been through that area, you know what I'm talking about. The big consideration is Seymour coming from Atomic Road to Edgefield and other parts of our city is a thoroughfare, and the traffic pattern is very bad. It's not policed as well as it could be, and I have found out that road doesn't get maintained. Signs are not put up by our city. It's a DOT road. So you need to look at that traffic pattern, because this number of homes that are going to be built there, not only here, if you're approved, but down the street, and it's a big impact from an influx of people. Several of you here probably know back several years ago when someone was killed on Seymour because they came flying through up there and hit him and knocked him up in the sky right there at Seymour and Terrace Circle. You may know who I'm talking about, but you do need to consider that in looking at this plan, not to impede it, but it is a consideration.
Again, we're looking,
Especially since it's a DOT street, or if you want to call it that.
right, that,
But
all these
thank you.
comments, I appreciate all your comments. A lot of those are for the planning commission.
Right.
So save
Well,
those
you've
comments
heard
and
'em,
take them to
so-
that.
Okay,
This is a different meeting. I'm
Okay.
So the
sorry.
planning
Okay.
But thank you
commission,
for the comments.
okay, thank
the
you.
planning commission, well, they're published. There's a schedule for them, and there's an agenda, in their agenda put out ahead of time about what they're gonna be talking about. They met Monday a week ago,
They meet the third Wednesday of the
or
month.
Wednesday, rather.
And we would not post the property for that type of hearing, but it will be posted on the website, and it will be posted on the door, and the agendas will be there for the public to review.
Is there any other public comments on this particular application? Okay, thank you. I'm gonna close the public hearing for this particular application. And the write-up, again, there's two criteria for this, but the comments were based on what was provided to us. Comments are not based on the revised plan.
Correct.
And so I don't know that, do I need to read through all those comments that was based off the old?
That's up to you, Mr. Chairman. If y'all are comfortable with your understanding of what you're approving, you don't have to do that.
My question is, we are scratching the cul-de-sac.
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so we don't, and so reading that,
I don't think it did.
I don't think it
No.
needs that. Basically, we just need to know
How
if we're gonna
long,
extend.
what I don't think it's been discussed is what we're doing the waiver for now is just the block length, which was before anyway, but what is the block length now?
And I don't have that number because we just got the engineers' drawings emailed to us this afternoon.
Does Mr.
And I don't know if they've run that measurement, of that block length. It is considerably shorter than it was.
But the requirement is to be a minimal waiver. So this is the minimal solution that is based off this drawing, the way I look at it. I
Yes.
don't know that we need a
think so.
specific number, do we? We
No,
know it
sir.
exceeds 600 feet.
I would, reference this as an exhibit and, as shown, and maybe attach that to the final order if you
Yes.
so desire.
Yes.
I would like to know.
I don't know that we can take,
He's not saying that he knows.
it's more than 650 feet.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to read the criteria and then we can discuss without reading all the comments here. I mean, based on the original application. Number one, let me go back and read this. For the North Augusta Development Code, Section 18.8.5, the BZA is authorized to grant a major waiver from the standards of this article for provisions contained in chapters 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, and 19 only. Any deviation from chapters 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 15, 18 shall conform to the variance procedure. This request is from Chapter 10, Table 10.2, Street Design Criteria, Maximum Block Length, Local Street. So the major waiver standards apply. The BZA should consider the following, and there's two criteria, and we'll discuss them. Section 18.5.1, waiver criteria, number A. The first one is the waiver granted is the minimal waiver needed to address the site or design issue. So let's discuss that one right now. This revised drawing, which was revised 2326 revised preliminary plat sheet you have pulled up, that represents the minimal waiver. Does away with the cul-de-sac. You have the interconnection. That's acceptable from Tommy's perspective and the peer's perspective from the applicant's.
That is exactly what we was recommending, to lessen the load.
Yes.
Right.
So,
With that, strengthen it because of lessen the load and more interest.
right. You good too? I'm good with it. Good with it. So we're good with A. The second criteria is a waiver does not authorize a use or type of development not otherwise permitted. The use is permitted. So we're good with that one. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Comments for that?
No.
So we've met the two criteria. Is that right? May I read it? A and B.
I believe so, but
Okay.
that's for you to
All
determine.
right. Do we have any
That's
conditions?
all we had to do.
We can add conditions to this, right?
Only condition that I was concerned is that we do it as conceptually shown by this current revision on 12.3.
So,
Right.
yes.
I mean, 2-3.
2.3, excuse me. Yes, thank you, sir.
2-3.
All right. So do we have a motion to approve with conditions?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion, sir. Based on the findings previously discussed and voted on, I move that application MW 225-005 cottages at Rose Hill, a request by Landmark Investments as a major waiver based on Chapter 10, Table 10.2, Street Design Criteria, maximum block length, be approved with the following conditions. That it will be, one, that it will be conceptually shown, or be follow the conceptual shown on 2/3 of 26 by the revision that was given to us. Thank you.
Motion with a condition. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Stallworth. Any other discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Thank you.
Possibly.
But I mean, as far as the road itself is
Yeah, that
good.
one, yeah.
That's what we're
block
talking
length.
about.
That's what we're voting.
Okay, okay, I just wanted to-
We're voting.
We'll do that at the preliminary plat.
Thank you. All right. Thanks for your patience. All right, number 2. Next application is ZE 25-013, a request by RTR North Augusta LLC for a variance from Article 4 zoning districts established, Section 4.12.7 General Commercial, and Section 4.10.1 measuring heights of building and/or structures to allow a 4-story, 50-foot tall building in the General Commercial zoning district. The request affects approximately 3.45 acres, zone GC General Commercial, located at 220 Austin Graybill Boulevard, TPN 010-18-10-005. And I'll open up the public hearing for this particular application. So, Mr. Paradise, can you kick us off, please?
Mr. Chairman, this is for a potential home to suites building. It would be right next door to the True Hotel. That's on Austin Graybill Road. You can see the sites and the zoning there. This would be the building pad and the conceptual drawing of what the hotel would look like. I'll let the applicant get into the specifics, but basically, I believe it's Hilton is the franchisor. It has very specific requirements about the facade elements and the design of the buildings, and that requirement will end up with it being 50 feet, or I believe will be 48 feet, but they trying to ask for 50 in case they get a little bit off somewhere with the grading. Any questions for me?
So the requirements was the requirement in the code was like a limit of 45s.
Yes, sir.
45.
It is a 45. The height limit is 45, and they're requesting 50. Based on what I read, is they feel like they've got 48 over the average. But when then they get out their grading, they don't want any mix-ups with this kind of project.
What's the true next door? Height?
I do not remember if that one got approved right before I came. I don't remember the height on that one.
Another one a 4-story? Yeah, I think so.
I believe so.
So they'll be close to size regardless of foot or two here or there anyway.
Yes, sir.
Did the development code change the height when we had a new development code? Because I don't recollect the true coming to us.
It did.
It did for the height?
I don't know
Is that
about
what it came
height.
for?
I'm not sure about height. It came to us.
It's a site, but I don't remember the height. Well, anyway,
Yeah,
it is what it is now, so.
right.
I don't have any more.
Will this building have a flat roof?
Based on the diagram, I believe so, yes, sir.
The way I read the requirements, city, if there were a slope, you have to go all the way to the peak. So that's why I assumed it was a flat roof.
Yes, sir. It sounds simple. Measure the height of the building, but it's not.
Yeah. Got to do with yard layout, final grade, and everything.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, Mr. Paradise?
No, sir, I'm good.
I'm good. All right, is the applicant here? Swear you in, you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
I do.
I think, state your name and address, please, for record.
Harry McClendon, 535 Iris Drive, Florence, South Carolina. I'm here on behalf of Raines Company, the developer here. We also own and operate the True right next door. This committee also did approve a height variance for the True. We had the exact same request in front of you all for that, increasing from 45 to 50. So it'll be, this is right next door to the True, and so it'll be the exact same height. It actually might even be a little bit shorter based on the way the slope goes down. So that's all I have to add, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I don't have any questions. Okay,
Thank you.
I'll be back up to the public. Do you have any comments? One of you. Oh, sorry. Come on. I've already sworn you in, Michelle, so go ahead. State your name, I guess.
Michelle Wilson. So I recognize you've already made an exception for True, and I'm not going to comment on the height issue, but I would hope that your construction company and your engineers could come within 5 or 6 inches of the building height. That would worry me. But I am asking why they cannot comply with the aesthetic requirements for the parking lot design, like every other builder in this town who's been asked to comply with our building codes. It doesn't seem to really be that big a deal.
That's the next one.
That's the
That'll be
next
the
one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought they were tied together.
No, ma'am.
No,
Do I have to
It's two
sit down
separate
now?
applications.
Yes.
you gotta wait another one. Any other comments from the public? Okay, we'll close the public hearing on this particular application. So for variances, we have 10 criteria that must be met. We gotta meet them all. And I will read the requirement, the staff notes, comments, and then, the applicant's comments, then the staff notes, and then we'll discuss each one, whether we agree with it or not. So, first criteria is an unnecessary hardship exists. The applicant states the current height restriction of 45 feet presents an unnecessary hardship on the project because the Hilton brand does not allow alterations to the prototypical design of their mid-scale hotels. The franchise would be revoked for the locations without an approved variance. Staff note says, while the applicant has demonstrated that the proposed hotel brand relies on a standardized design, variance criteria typically require that the hardship arise from the physical characteristics of the site. Staff finds that this criterion is addressed by the existing stormwater features and private drive that significantly reduce the amount of buildable area on the parcel. We good with the hardship, the first one?
Yes, sir.
I'm good. I'm good. Yep.
I'm fine.
You're good? So we're good with number one. Number two, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property. The applicant states that there is a natural drainage area at the rear of the property, along with steep elevation changes that limit the depth of the development of the parcel. Staff finds that the topographic variation and drainage features make up extraordinary conditions when compared to typical development sites. These physical constraints appear to limit building placement and site layout options and may reasonably impact the feasibility of complying with all development standards. We'll be good with number two. Yes. I'm good. And I'm good too. So we're good with two. Number three, the conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. The applicant states that in addition to the topographical challenges of the parcel, the four-story design is the only Hilton design that will meet all other requirements of the development code and setback requirements. The unique conditions do not generally apply to the surrounding development area that is typically flat and without natural topographic limitations. Based on the information provided, staff finds that the described site conditions appear to be unique to the subject property and not characteristic of the broader development area. This distinction supports the applicant's claim that the conditions do not generally apply to other properties in the vicinity. Are we good with number three?
I'm okay with that.
We're good? I'm good with it. I'm good. So we're good with three. Number four, because of the conditions, the application of this chapter to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. And the applicant states that the current height restriction of 45 feet presents an unnecessary hardship to the project because the Hilton brand does not allow alterations to the prototypical design on their mid-scaled hotels. The franchise will be revoked for the location without an approved variance. Staff notes that the property remains developable for other permitted uses within the GC zoning district and potentially for other hotel designs that comply with the height requirement. While the height restriction may limit this specific project proposal, staff finds that it does not clearly prohibit all reasonable uses of the property. How do we feel about this one?
Well, but it could be used for something else, but not for this particular thing. I mean, I think they're saying it, they seem to be saying it can't be used for anything else, but it could be used for something else. Right, so. I have a question for, the, applicant. Is, do you run into this problem in other development, other Hilton, other communities that you want to put a Hilton in?
We usually run into something, whether it's parking or building height or something like that. The brands are very specific about, you've got to build this and we want it to look like this.
Right.
And so every community and every zoning is a little bit different. So there's something always comes up.
But the height is not.
The height is also a common one that we see as well, yes. But it is one of many
Okay.
that we encounter.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So I guess based on you got the Hilton's standard design, applying their standards to this particular piece of property, I'm good with number four. Good?
I'm okay, yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're good with four. Number 5, the authorization of a variance will not be a substantial detriment to adjacent property or to the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by granting of the variance. Harm to the character of the district may include structures that are significantly out of scale and the creation of or potential for the creation of excessive noise, light, traffic, or incompatible late-night activity. The applicant states that the proposed hotel will not be a substantial detriment to the adjacent property or to the public good or harmful to the character of the district. The proposed hotel location will be in the middle of the Walnut Village development with a mix of compatible uses in compliance with the GC zoning district. The property is bound on the west by a wooded tract that will buffer from surrounding residential uses. Staff finds that the GC zoning district anticipates a range of commercial uses, including hotels, that the surrounding development pattern appears consistent with the proposed use. Given the internal location with a mixed-use commercial area and the presence of natural buffering, staff does not anticipate that additional building height would be substantially detrimental to adjacent properties or the public good. Agree, I'm good with 5. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm good with it, but I want to, as a condition, I want to include some natural buffering. That's here, right here, staff said, with the presence of natural buffering. So if we go forward with this, I want it to be a condition that we keep some
There's roads on.
landscaping in.
You know, there'll be landscaping,
Yeah.
but there's roads all the way around.
Well, I
so
know
you
that,
can't-
I know that, I've been there.
But is that more appropriate for the next one? This is a
Right.
building height.
Yeah, right, so.
So are we good with 5?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. Number 6, in the approval of an application for a variance from the provision of, that doesn't apply. Number 6 is signs, that doesn't apply. Number 7, the Board of Zoning Appeals may not grant a variance, the effect of which would be A, to allow the establishment of a use not otherwise permitted in the zoning district, B, to extend physically a non-conforming use of land, or C, to change zoning district boundaries shown on the official zoning map. The applicant notes that hotels are allowed use in the GC General Commercial Zoning District, and the variance request does not extend a physically non-conforming use of land or propose any change to the zoning district boundaries. Staff confirms that hotels are an allowed use in the GC district, and the requested variance relates solely to building height. The variance would not authorize a prohibited use, extend a non-conforming use, or modify zoning boundaries. So we're good with 7. You good with that?
Yep.
Good. Number 8, if the unnecessary hardship is self-imposed by the applicant, the variance should not be granted. The applicant states the franchise will be revoked for the location without an approved variance. Staff notes that the hardship is a result of utilizing the property to its full extent as a marketable business while remaining sensitive to the commercial nature of the surrounding area and preserving stormwater drainage areas. And it's kind of self-imposed, but it's a standard they're trying to comply with, hotels, and we're trying to work with here. So I'm good with 8. Good? Good then? Okay. So we're good with 8. Number 9, the fact that property may be utilized more profitably should a variance be granted shall not be considered grounds for a variance. Staff recognizes that using the property for commercial purpose allows it to be utilized profitably, but is not the sole grounds for the variance request. Just need 5 more feet for roof height. Got anything you want to add?
That one always gives me trouble.
So are we good with 9?
Good with
Yes,
it.
We're good. All right. All right, number 10, in granting a variance, the Board of Zoning Appeals may attach to it such conditions regarding the location, character, or other features of the proposed building structure or use that the board may consider advisable to promote the public health, safety, or general welfare. And should the applicant be approved, staff recommends the following conditions. 3 of them. Yeah, 3. Number 1, this variance, if granted, will apply only to the property and will not apply to any future development on the site should the current construction be demolished. Number 2, the variance would require that the building footprint be constructed as conceptually shown in the exhibits. And 3, the building height be limited to 4 stories or 50 feet. You look like you're getting ready to say something.
Well, Ms. Stallworth had indicated that she wanted to add another condition about the buffer on the west. I have that pulled up for you on the screen. And as you see, the trees there are across the street and not on this property.
Not on the property, right, I see that now.
So I was just bringing that to wanted to bring that to your attention. I don't know that we could put a condition.
Because it's not on this property.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
see that from that screen. You know, we're cutting down everything wooden in this town, so, but if it's not on the property, we can't do anything about it.
So are we good with 10?
Yes, sir.
We get in, we got three conditions. We good with the three conditions?
Yes.
Okay, so we've answered an affirmative for all 10, so do we have a motion to approve?
Yes, sir. I would like to make a motion. Based on the findings previously discussed and voted on, I move that application number ZV 25-013, a request by RTR North Augusta LLC for the variance pursuant to codes section 4.12.7 and section 4.10.1 be approved with the following conditions. This variance, if granted, will apply only to this property and will not apply to any future development on this site should the current construction be demolished. 2, the variance would require that the building footprint be constructed as conceptually shown in the exhibits. And 3, that the building height be limited to 4 stories or no more than 50 feet.
Got a motion by Mr. Newman. Do we have a second? Second, Ms. Stallworth. Any other discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. It's approved. Unanimous. Thank you. All right. Last one. Same property. The request, it's a ZE 25-014, request by RTR North Augusta LLC for a variance from Article 7, landscaping, buffers, open space, and trails, Section 7.5.3.d, interior landscaping islands to reduce the size of parking islands within the site parking lot. The request affects approximately 3.45 acres, Zone GC, General Commercial, located at 220 Austin Graybill Boulevard, TPN 010-18-10-005. And I open up the public hearing for this application. So, Mr. Paradise, can you kick us off?
Mr. Chairman, this is going to look incredibly similar to your last application. Let me scroll on back here to the back. And this is where it's at. The applicant seeks a variance to reduce the minimum area and dimension of 5 planter islands located in the parking lot. And you see them highlighted there. And he wants to change it from required 260 square feet and 8 feet wide to 170 square feet and only 6 feet wide. This would allow the parking area to have parking spaces and travel lanes that meet the requirements of the development code. And I looked at this really hard. I didn't like it whenever I first saw it. And I looked at it really hard, just like I did the first one. And I realized that if you made those planting strips 8 feet wide, you're taking 2 feet of the travel lane. So to get the travel lane width, it is, you've only got so much area. So which one, if you're going to do it, which one do you want? Travel lane widths, safe and designed correctly, or the planting strips designed correctly? And of course, the developer has gone with making sure that the parking lot requirements for circulation can be done safely and met those requirements. And that is why he's having to request the reduction for the planting islands. But I looked at this one really hard to see if I could figure something out like the first one. I couldn't come up with anything, but I'll let the applicant speak to any questions. Do y'all have any questions for me?
He's just narrowing it. Still the full length.
Yes, sir.
He's just narrowing it, and is he losing any of those trees?
No, the trees will be planted there.
So it's just a little narrow.
Correct.
For
It's not going to be
for
the square
traffic.
footage or the width.
Yeah. So traffic flow is safety and of the people in the traffic.
Keeps the traffic lanes the correct width.
I'm
So
good.
instead of 8 feet wide, they're 6 feet.
Those planting strips that are highlighted, yes, ma'am. Now, the other planting strips that you see there, will meet the code.
Any other questions? Okay, is the applicant come back? Guys, I gotta swear you in. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State your name, please, and address. for the record.
Chip Funderburk, 601 Lodge Drive, Greenwood, South Carolina, 29646. I'm the engineer on the project, and I will say, one thing this plan doesn't show is the actual topography. And if you can see on the back, we've got a retaining wall that's kind of on the parallel to the rear property line of this site, and we have a retaining wall over here on the left-hand side where we have the dumpster and another row of parking. So there's a slope in the back is the reason for the retaining wall, and there's a slope along this left-hand side of the property. It's the reason for the other retaining wall and the building position. So we twisted and turned this thing every which way we really could to meet code in every way, and also meet the parking requirements of the brand. And we had to make a compromise somewhere. We did, we have an oversized planter island in the center of the parking lot. So we are giving back the area. We just don't, each planter island doesn't meet the specifics of the code. We'll have plenty of landscaping, that'll exceed code requirements. And so there will really be no way, you won't really notice a feel of any difference when pulling onto the site than you will anywhere else. We'll still have the plantings, we'll still have the island, the end caps of each of the parking rows. They just won't meet the exact space requirements. But there'll be plenty of green space around the site. But we did the best we could, and we're using every inch of this site on the buildable area that we can. So we did consider this, as much as possible to try to gain that, that extra space.
So on the narrower islands, they have the same amount of trees, and I think the same question you asked.
Yeah,
Robert.
I think
Tommy said
they
they
called
would.
for 2 trees, so they'll still have.
Right. So we'll make the plantings work. We'll have the required plantings on site.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that didn't change.
No,
It's just
just a little
okay,
narrow.
all right. Sorry for the redundant question.
Yeah, ain't no problem.
I'm good.
Little narrow.
Thank you. All right, any comments from the public? Now's your chance. Come to the
Now, come
microphone.
on up, gotta say your name.
Say your name. I don't have to swear you. I've already sworn you in. So.
All right, Michelle Wilson. So honestly, it would be really much easier for the public if this drawing had been attached to the meeting notices, because I think the original concern, my friends voted me to come.
Mhm.
So the original concern was that we were losing aesthetics because we're growing rapidly. Not all of us are happy about how fast we're growing, but we are growing. And so we wanted the aesthetics. And when you read the description of the waiver, there was no way that we could identify that you were actually substituting a planting island. Okay? So the fact that that is a planting island, you're probably pretty much the same square footage of green space. And I think that's really all that we cared about, all right? So it's the same thing with the gentleman's revised planning map of that other subdivision. I mean, those people have legitimate concern, but if we have this kind of information available as an attachment, I think it would be better for the public because you do want us engaged. So thank you for listening to my comments. Thank you for bringing your very simple to read drawing. And I'm okay because I knew we already had the hotel. I mean, if I had my way, I moved here 40 years ago and liked the size, so I admit that we're growing too fast for me. But thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We appreciate your engagement.
Mr. Chairman, just for clarification, we do put the packet, when it comes out to y'all, it's sent to the applicant. and also post it on the city website. So it's
City-
available to the public.
So this was available,
Yes, ma'am.
but not the other guys. We just
Not the
got
one we got
afternoon.
this afternoon.
Right.
Any other comments from the public? All right, we'll close the public hearing on this application. We'll follow the same process since it's a variance. I'll just jump right into the question, first criteria. Number one, an unnecessary hardship exists. The applicant states that riprap drainage ditch leading to an off-site stormwater facility for Walnut Village and a portion of the 50-foot right-of-way for a private road that cuts through the southwest portion of the site significantly reduces the usable area of the site, resulting in a need to reduce the parking islands and still provide the required parking count. Staff notes that drainage infrastructure and existing rights-of-way are physical constraints that reduce the effective developable area of the site. These constraints appear to be outside the applicant's control, and these conditions contribute to a practical difficulty in meeting the landscape island standards while maintaining code-required parking. We good with the hardship question?
Yes.
I'm good. I'm good too. So we go with one. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property. This is the second one. The applicant states that the drainage areas, grading, and existing private right-of-way limit the depth of the development of the parcel. Staff finds that the combination of stormwater conveyance features, grading challenges, and a private roadway encumbrance represent exceptional site conditions when compared to a typical commercially zoned parcel. These factors restrict flexibility in parking lot design and landscape island placement. We good with question number two? Good with it. Good. I'm good. You good, Jim?
Yes.
All right. Number three, the conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. The applicant states that in addition to the topographical challenges of the parcel, the four-story design is the only Hilton design that will meet all other requirements of the development code and parking requirements. The unique conditions do not generally apply to the surrounding development area that is typically flat and without natural topographic limitations. Staff observes that most parcel in the surrounding area do not appear to be similarly constrained by off-site drainage infrastructure or private road rights-of-way. While the reference to a specific hotel prototype is a business consideration, staff finds that the physical site constraints cited do not generally apply to the neighboring properties. We're good with number three.
Yes.
I'm good too, so we're good with three. Number four, because of the conditions, the application of this chapter to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. The applicant states that the current right-of-way and drainage system requirements create an unnecessary hardship on the project because the usable area of the site has been reduced by nearly 50%. Staff notes that landscape island standards are intended to provide shade, visual relief, and stormwater benefits within large parking areas. In this case, strict application of the minimum island size and width requirements may unreasonably restrict the ability to design a compliant parking layout given the site's constraints. Staff finds that the intent of the landscaping standards is still met through alternative design measures. I'm good before.
Yes.
We're good before. Number five, the authorization of a variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property or to the public good. The character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Harm to the character of the district may include structures that are significantly out of scale and the creation or potential for creation of excessive noise, light, traffic, or incompatible late-night activity. The applicant states that the proposed hotel will not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent property or to the public good or harmful to the character of the district. The proposed hotel location will be in the middle of the Walnut Village development with a mix of compatible uses in compliance with the GC zoning district. Property is bound on the west by a wooded tract that will buffer from surrounding residential areas. Staff finds that requested reduction affects internal parking, not landscaping, and does not increase the building size or affect traffic. While smaller islands may reduce landscaping areas, staff finds the overall character of the district will not be harmed, particularly if the islands remain planted and provide visual screening and mitigate heat island effects. I'm good with 5.
Good with it.
Yeah, everybody's good? Kate? All right, we're good with 5.
6 is not.
6 is the sign. That's not applicable. Go to 7. Zoning, number 7, the Board of Zoning Appeals may not grant a variance, the effect of which would be A, to allow the establishment of a use not otherwise permitted in a zoning district, B, to extend physically a non-conforming use of land, and C, to change zoning district boundaries shown in this official zoning map. The applicant notes that hotels are an allowed use in the GC General Commercial Zoning District, and the variance request does not extend physically a non-conforming use of land or propose any changes to the zoning district boundaries. Staff confirms that hotels are allowed use in the GC district and that the requested variance relates solely to landscaping standards. Variance would not authorize or a prohibited use, extend a non-conforming use, or modify zoning boundaries. I'm good with 7. We're good. 7 is good. Number 8, if the unnecessary hardship is self-imposed by the applicant, the variance should not be granted. Applicant states that the franchise will be revoked for the location without an approved variance. Staff notes that the hardship is a result of utilizing the property to its full extent as a marketable business while remaining sensitive to the commercial nature of the surrounding area and preserving stormwater drainage. Found the compromise with all the
Right.
way this works. So I'm good with 8. Number 9, the fact that the property may be utilized more properly should a variance be granted shall not be considered grounds for a variance. Staff recognizes that use of the property for commercial purposes allows it to be utilized properly, but is not the sole grounds for the variance request. Good with 9.
I agree with you. It gives me pause every time. Yeah.
Cuts down on their parking, but,
But they maintain the parking standard, right?
they maintain the
Yeah.
parking standard. If we didn't grant it, it would cut out the parking,
Right, they would
Right.
not meet the park.
because it
Yeah,
would lose 2 spaces.
It's not the main cause,
Right.
which that makes me comfortable.
Right. So you good with 9?
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
okay.
We're good with 9. Number 10, in granting a variance, the Board of Zoning Appeals may attach to it such conditions regarding the location, character, or other features of the proposed building, structure, or use as the board may consider advisable to promote the public health, safety, or general welfare. Should the application be approved, staff would recommend the following conditions. Number 3, number 1, this variance if granted will apply only to this property and will not apply to any future development on the site should the current construction be demolished. Number 2, the variance should require that the parking lot and landscape parking islands be constructed as conceptually shown in the exhibits. Number 3, the variance does not apply to any reduction in the amount of minimum required parking spaces. Are we in agreement to meet 10 and then we have these 3 conditions?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I think we've answered in the affirmative for all 10 questions. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make the motion. Based on the findings previously discussed and voted on, I move that application number ZV 25-014, a request by RTR North Augusta LLC pursuant, for the variance pursuant to section 7.5.3.d, the interior landscaping islands, be approved with the following conditions. 1, this variance, if granted, or this variance will apply only to this property and will not apply to any future development on the site should it, the current construction be demolished. 2, the variance will require that the parking lot and the island parking or the landscape parking islands be constructed as conceptually shown in the exhibits. And 3, The variance does not apply to any reduction in the amount of minimum parking spaces.
Motion by Mr. Newman, do we have a second? Let Mr. Burkholder have the
Okay.
vote. All right, any other discussion? Got a motion is second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion approved, application approved, so good luck. Any other business? Oh, my goodness. Thank you. All right.
I have something.
Oh, okay. All right,
Oh, that's great. That's great.
all right.
Well, I want to get this on record that the drainage basin of their property, is, determined to be poor. And so they've got a lot of problems there, and then the planning commission has to deal with that, correct? The engineering department and the planning commission.
The planning commission will review the plans, but really the stormwater runoff and the drainage, our engineering department and
Right.
our stormwater department will go through that and look closely at that to make sure that, it complies with what is required.
Well, because they already have problems up there during the heavy rainfall.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to be on record that if people are complaining, we've got it on record that it's something y'all have to look into. Okay, and, because we get the brunt of that because we approve the application.
And looking at that site plan, it may go into a regional detention pond. I'm not sure. So they've taken that into account, and we'll take that into account.
All right. Comments? All right, meeting